Planning Commission meeting of Tuesday, September the 9th. It is 6 p.m. and I call this hearing to order. Please join me and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, thank you for joining us. And staff, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Nesbitt.
Here.
Commissioner Ferguson.
Here.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Yes.
Commissioner Torres.
Here.
Commissioner Young.
Here.
And Chairman Wiley.
Here. All right, would anybody like to pull anything from the consent agenda for separate consideration? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion.
I have a first
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, call the vote.
Commissioner Nesbitt.
Yes.
Commissioner Ferguson.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Yes.
Commissioner Torres.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
And Chairman Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. All right. Thank you for being here. If you've not attended a hearing before and you would like to speak tonight or expect to speak, I do ask that you stand at this time. Yeah. All right. Thanks for standing. I was just going to see how long you could stand. No, I'm kidding. That was a cruel joke. Yes, I do need you to stand and raise your right hand, please, if you plan to speak. Do you promise to tell the truth? To the best of your ability? If so, say, I do. Thank you. You can be seated. All right, staff. First thing on our agenda tonight. Case number 25-411, short-term rental.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would move that we approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Oh, yes. We did that in the consent agenda already.
Okay, thank you.
All righty.
Ready for the presentation?
Yes, please.
Alrighty. Yeah, this is case number 25-411, an application for short-term rental approval of the property located at 1115 South Leslie Street. The property is located along 23rd Street, just a couple blocks east of Nolan Road, along a commercial corridor that includes Mugs Up. Here's a exhibit showing the required notification area for the application. The zoning map indicates a property is surrounded predominantly by single-family houses of similar characteristics, age, and design. To the south of the subject site is the commercial corridor along 23rd Street. The property is described as Lot 454 of the Eden Park subdivision. The property is composed of approximately 6,900 square feet of land area. The house was constructed in 1925 according to Jackson County property records and contains approximately 946 square feet of floor area. The house is ranch style with lap siding. There's an 18-foot wide driveway off of Leslie Street. Here's a oblique view of the property showing gable roof and view from the street, the front of the property showing that lap siding with some newly remodeled features, including the wooden shutters and some dark turquoise siding. Street view of the neighborhood, so northbound is a continuation of the single-family subdivision, and to the south, Leslie Street intersects with 23rd Street, and see the commercial district there. Floor plan of the proposed short-term rental indicates 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, kitchen, laundry room, and an office space. A parking plan for the short-term rental indicates there is availability for 3 parking spaces in the driveway, 1 parking space underneath a carport along the side of the house, and 1 additional parking space along the street available for the short-term rental occupants. A map of the nearest short-term rental units indicates that the closest short-term rental is well outside of the required 500-foot buffer. And staff does recommend approval of the short-term rental application with the standard conditions. I would like to make a note here in the recommendation. If you'll review in your staff reports, the recommendation states the maximum number of bedrooms is 2, so that staff report is incorrect. The floor plan does show 3 bedrooms. Additionally, the maximum occupancy would be modified because of that as well. So instead of 4 guests in the recommendation on the staff report, that would be increased to 6 guests. So the modification to the recommendation of the staff report will include 4 bedrooms from 3 and 6 guests from 4. So that's all staff's, that concludes staff's report, and I'm ready for any questions.
All right. Commissioners, any questions for staff? Okay, seeing none, I encourage the owner, the applicant, to step forward. All right. Thank you for swearing in. I do apologize that I could not find my notes. Just state your name and your address, please.
Sure. My name is Brian Barton. Address is 114 Park Avenue, Kansas City, Missouri, 64124.
All right. And you, sir?
James Wendleton, same address.
Okay. So what do you want us to know about your project?
All right. So 2 parts about us and about the home. So about us, both of us together have well over 40 years of experience in the hospitality industry. So we understand how to elevate the experience for our guests. We've been short-term rental hosts now for well over a year, and we're proud to say that we hold very high standards in what we deliver, and it's shown in our reviews, which we are at that 5 stars. We were actually in front of you guys, I believe, in March or April, and when we launched our Waldo Avenue, pleased to say, 5 stars as well. Perfect response from our guests. Outside of that, we're also excited that Eddie Wendleton, his father, has just retired and is joining our team. He is going to be working with us, so it's going to be a little bit more of a family adventure, which is going to be really exciting. So now we have 3 people on our team that oversee everything within everything inside, outside of the properties. We also have a professional cleaning company that does phenomenal. And then we also have handyman that can come in and take care of any projects any minute, anytime. They can build a house or anything. So we are completely covered on those fronts. And then just to mention, I know the requirement is an hour to get to the location at any time, 24/7. We can easily get to this house within 20 minutes, which makes it easy. Now the house, as you saw, it was completely redone, renovated beautifully. They did a phenomenal job at this. Inside, everything updated, electrical, plumbing. The only thing that was not updated was a hot water heater. We went and did that ourselves just because it was a 1980s hot water heater, and that's the last thing I'd want is any of our guests to go without hot water. Now, outside of that, as you can see, everything is on one floor. 2 steps to get inside. Perfect. We added a privacy fencing, which is not in there. We just did that a couple weeks ago. So that adds a little added privacy for our guests for any time that they're in the backyard. The driveway, it is double wide. So there's plenty of space for cars to get in, open fully, accessible, whatever it may be. It is not on an incline or anything that would cause any tripping hazards. We do not have a garage, but we do have the carport that is there as well. Let's see what else we have. We do utilize noise and smoke monitors in the home. We really champion those for sure. We will have the good neighbor guidelines posted in the kitchen, so that is seen in as you can see, the center of the home. And there's no access to the basement, and that's what we have.
All right, thank you. Did you want to add anything, sir?
Yeah, really, the only thing I was going to add is one thing that we're very big in is history, community, really driving that whole experience and tourism to the area. Being from this area growing up, it's nice to see life brought back into it. I've been in the hotel industry myself for almost 25 years, so it's great to bring my talent that I have from that into what we're doing. The other thing I'm big in is, meeting the neighbors, really getting to know them, being involved. We actually have an elderly neighbor that lives next door to this house, and when we first got the house, one thing I noticed was her yard was not being kept up. And so I went over, and when we mowed our lawn, I was mowing hers, and so made an arrangement to where I'm happy to help her keep her lawn up. So that's kind of our giving back to the neighborhood and really getting to know everyone and making sure that we're making a positive impact into the area. And that's kind of why we decided to invest in what we've done, is for that, because we believe in it. And I think there's so much focus on other areas, but Independence has a lot of great opportunities. And we didn't want to go long-term rental because we wanted to be able to give multiple people the experience that we want to give, but then also be able to keep an upper hand on the property itself and making sure that we're giving it the attention that it needs as well.
All right, thank you. Commissioners, any questions for applicants?
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Nesbitt.
I see you got an office back here. Is that going to be shut off, or is it going to have an office in it, or what's the plans there?
Yeah, so that's changed. We've made that into the 4th bedroom. So originally we had the 3, we had the primary and the 2 that are on the left side. The back office area there was large enough and has a bedroom in it that we wanted to provide additional space instead of having 2 twins in that bedroom, the 92 by 97, just to provide additional moving
So
space.
it is going to be a 4th bedroom.
Right. Yeah.
Is that what you said?
So I discussed this with the applicants a little earlier today. So because of that hiccup in the staff report that indicated 2 bedrooms previously, and staff had updated that to 3 bedrooms in the recommendation, we did speak with the applicant earlier today, like I said. So the applicant has indicated the maximum occupancy will remain 6 guests, but the number of bedrooms available to those 6 guests will be 4.
Okay, so we're going to go to 4 bedrooms. You said 2, and that's what threw me.
Yeah.
So, so we're going to go to 4 bedrooms, but we can't move it up to 8 total then, or is that?
If the applicant can satisfy the parking requirement, then the planning commission could approve 4 bedrooms and 8 occupants.
But they only have 3 parking spots.
They have 3 off-street parking spots, that's correct. So they have 1 parking spot under a covered carport that's attached to the house. You can see that in the
Yeah, so that driveway is not long enough to put 3 cars and then the 4th one in there?
So it may be possible.
I'm just wondering, how long is the driveway? Do you
We
guys
can
know?
park a truck, and so we could technically park 5 vehicles, one under the carport, and both of our trucks, we can park one behind the other on one side. So you technically could get 5 vehicles in there. Currently, the 2 bedrooms just have a twin bed in each, that office room, and then the other bedroom has a twin bed. And then we have a king and a queen in the other 2 bedrooms. So
Yeah.
that would be where we got only 6 guests
We're
sleeping.
not, yeah, it's 6 max. We won't
Yeah.
go any higher than 6.
Okay, if you
Yeah.
guys don't want to go with more than 6, that's fine with me then, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, because that's why I was questioning that office, and you guys turned it into a bedroom, so it should be 4 bedrooms, but with a max of 6, what he's saying. Okay.
All right, any additional questions for the applicants? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, commissioners, any other discussion? All right, I do have one thing. Like you many times, Commissioner, I looked at Google, and my initial thought was what horrible shape this house was in.
I saw that too.
And I thought, there is no way we can let anybody stay there. And then I was excited by the remodel. I
Right.
mean, it was amazing.
Right, yes.
So I am in support of this, so,
That's why I drive by.
yeah. I was happy to drive by. So I just wanted to let you guys know. If you also saw Google, then I wanted to dispel that concern, so. All right, any other comments? All right, I will go ahead and,
We're not ready. You need to close.
oh,
You
so
need to-
sorry.
see if anybody's-
Is there anyone present who would like to speak in favor of this case? Anyone who'd like to speak in favor? Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition? All right, no one to speak in opposition, then I will close this public hearing. And I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion. We approve case 25-400-11, short-term rental, 1115 South Leslie Street.
I second.
I have a first and a second. Any final notes?
So just one note, is that a motion to approve the?
Yes.
With the
the
modified
ex-
recommendations?
yes.
Yes, with the recommendations and 4 bedrooms, 6 max guests.
Okay.
All right, thank you for that clarification. All right, I will call for the vote with the modified recommendations.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes?
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres.
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chair Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0 for case number 25-411 on Leslie Street. So congratulations, and thank you for improving that neighborhood. All right, our next case, excuse me, case number 25-412, and that would be a short-term rental on Hardy Avenue. Staff, look forward to your report.
So this is a case in Northwest Independence, right west of the city limit there of Sugar Creek, as you can tell by the vicinity map. The applicant is Nathaniel Bobbitt, and it's a property located at 201 North Hardy Avenue. So background, it was platted in 1915, made up of 2 lots from Jackson Lithia Place. At the time of the recording, of course, these lots were outside the city limits, and this area wasn't annexed into the city until 1961. Upon the adoption of our zoning ordinance in 1965, the area was designated R12, 2-family residential. It's R2 today, but yes, that's correct. It's R2 back then. It's R12 today. I got that backward. Since that time, the property has had 2-family residential zoning classification, but has contained a single-family residence the entire time. So here's our zoning map, and as you can see there, it's on the northeast corner of Scarrett and Hardy. The backyard abutting city of Sugar Creek with a single-family homes all around this R12 district. property is approximately 9,148 square feet in area. The dwelling is sort of a Cape Cod with tan siding. The first floor is the living room, the kitchen, the dining room, bathroom, master bedroom, and the second bedroom. And then on the second floor, there's a third bedroom. The property is located again in Northwest Independence, and there are single-family homes that neighbor the property to the north, south, east, and west. Of course, the small homes in the area include other Cape Cods as well as small ranches and bungalows built in the 20s and 30s and 40s on generally 40-foot wide lots, but right around that intersection, a number of them are double lots with 80 feet in width. So you can see there from the aerial photo, these 80-foot wide lots that surround mostly around this property that's at the corner there. And then here's the notification area. Properties within 185 feet of the applicants that receive notification of this hearing. The property has two driveways. There's a single-car driveway that's off of Scarrett Avenue under the carport just west of Hardy. And then a larger two-car driveway further to the east in front of a two-car garage. Thus, there'll be 3 off-street parking spaces. The garage will be used for storage, and although there is possibility of parking on the street because that is common in that area, but they do have the off-street 3 spaces. The applicant has indicated a subscription has been made to Minute noise monitoring service, and they'll have that. The installation of a continuous noise monitoring system will need to be confirmed by the staff prior to the business license being issued. They're going to have quiet hours from 11 to 7 a.m. and the guests will be expected to keep noise at a minimum during these hours, both inside the home and in the outdoor areas. They also indicated in their narrative that they have a Blink security camera. So, as far as the analysis, the applicant will need to provide the evidence of the installation of that monitoring device. They've indicated their trash service will be Ted's Trash, and it will be on Tuesday mornings. They are listed on Airbnb, or will be. The applicant has listed the responsible agent according to city code. The form was complete by the applicant covering the license, future inspections, insurance, on-site information, posting, and so forth. Fire evacuation plan that you will see momentarily with floor plans was provided, and it must be posted as well. City inspection will be provided for life safety inspection before a business license is issued. And the applicant has included also the parking plan with their application that they would need to be able to park for a 3-bedroom unit. So here's the floor plan and with the fire escape routes. You can see the dining room, kitchen, bathroom, all those, most of those rooms on the first floor, and then that 3rd bedroom that's down below that's actually up above. And here's the parking plan. So off to your left is where Hardy is. So there's a covered carport there. The narrative said 2 cars. It looks like 1 car. 1 car there and then 2 additional that could be, excuse me, parked in front of the garage farther to the east. That garage, though, as you see on the plan, is indicated for storage and will not be used for vehicles. And then this is the short-term rental vicinity map. As you can see, they're way north of 24 Highway, and both the closest ones are south of 24. Here's a photograph of the house. There on the left. We're looking straight at it from Hardy. And then this is looking from down Scarrett on the side of the house looking west. This is looking down Scarrett the other way to the east. So you can see both the carport there in the front, and then behind there's the garage there with the driveway in front of it. That's a little bit more difficult to see. And then this is looking up Hardy to the north in front of their home. So your staff recommends approval of the short-term rental with the standard recommendations that we require, noting that 3 bedrooms with limited to 6 persons total. And I'm ready to take any questions.
All right, commissioners, any questions for staff? I just have one. You mentioned 2 different driveways. Maybe a question for the applicant instead, but any concern with confusion by that, by visitors?
I mean, let's see. If you look off on the left picture there, I mean, they're fairly close to each other.
Okay,
So that first one's right there, and then at the end of their backyard is the second one at that accessory building. So
okay. All right, any additional questions? All right, thank you, staff. I invite the applicants forward. And please state your name and your address.
Adriana Bobbitt, 711 North Arapahoe Street.
All right, and what do you want to share about your project?
I've never done this before, so this is I'm nervous. So, good afternoon, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak today. My name is Adriana, and my spouse and I own the property at 201 North Hardy Avenue. We are here today to respectfully request approval for our short-term rental permit. This opportunity means a great deal to us. We've always dreamed of building a career in real estate, and this permit is the very first step toward making that dream a reality. Hosting responsibly allows us to support our family while also contributing to the community by bringing visitors who enjoy our local businesses, restaurants, and shops. We take pride in caring for our home and our neighborhood. We've made it a priority to keep our property well-maintained, to be respectful to our neighbors, and to follow all city rules and requirements. We are committed to being responsible, reliable hosts, and to ensuring that this rental is a positive addition to the community. One thing I didn't put in my statement was we have put our heart and soul into this house. It was a disaster when we got it. It was pretty much just not livable, and my husband and I did all the renovations ourselves, and it's a very beautiful home now, and we would love for people to come and visit our beautiful home in our beautiful city. So thank you for your time and for your consideration.
All right, any questions for the applicant?
Yes.
Commissioner Nesbitt, go ahead.
It does have a basement, correct?
Correct.
Access to the basement is where?
It's located in the 2nd bedroom, but we have the door locked off because it is an unfinished basement, and we don't want people to have access to it.
Okay, that, you didn't put that anywhere, so I just want to make sure that's
Okay,
what's happening.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any additional questions for the applicant? I have one, and once again, yes, checking pictures previously. You've done a very nice job.
Thank you.
really the thing that we typically hear from would be any neighbors. And you mentioned you want to be good neighbors.
Yes.
Have you talked to any?
Absolutely. So we know all of these surrounding neighbors. We have talked to them. They are aware that it is a short-term rental, and they are very supportive of us. We talk to them anytime they're out and about. We will say hi to them, have conversations with them. They have a little dog. One of them has a little dog. We'll go play with the dog. And so, yeah, we do know all of the neighbors over there, and they are very friendly and in support of our short-term rental.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any additional questions?
Chair, just one. About how far are you guys away from this rental?
About 10 minutes.
Okay. So if there's a problem, you can get there quickly.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right. The public hearing is open. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this case? Anyone who'd like to speak in favor? Okay, seeing none. Anyone who would like to speak in opposition? All right, sir, I will need you to swear in before I can have you speak. Just raise your right hand. Do you promise to tell the truth to the best of your ability? If you do, say, I will. All right, go ahead and come forward. State your name and your address, and then anything you want us to hear.
Sorry for being late.
That's understandable.
Mark Pocock, 910 North Claremont, Sugar Creek, Missouri. And I don't know how this works, so forgive
Just
me for that.
anything you want us to know.
Is there any way of you guys being aware of police calls to this particular address in the last 6 months?
If there was a concern, we're typically made aware, but
Okay. Can you tell me why this came up because it's been a short-term rental already in existence, and I'm assuming they probably have gotten caught by codes or city, whoever does that. The neighbors are not supportive, by the way. I don't know who she's talked to, but the last incident had well over 100 people in and on this property, neighboring streets. Independence Police Department was on scene. Sugar Creek Police Department was on scene. It led to several police chases. It led to gun confiscations. Well over 100 people were at this particular residence or in adjacent to the party that was at the residence. So I was asking, or just questioning if you guys have access to that police report or police record.
I will let staff address that.
Okay. I'm assuming that's probably why city is on the case now, because it has been being rented before, assuming probably till the last incident, which led to the police deal. It was an absolute, and if you go with Sugar Creek and Independence, both police departments, it was an absolute disaster for all the neighbors within 3 or 4 block radius. None of them could make it here today, but that's why I'm here. I technically live in Sugar Creek, but I have 4 houses on this block, 5. I have a lot of houses on this block that are not short-term rentals, and none of them 5 residents were condoning or in favor of this particular rental. And that's all I had to say. Just want to
Okay.
make sure that
Thank you for
police record.
sharing. All right, anyone else that'd like to speak in opposition? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close this. All right, staff, could you address whether this was running as a short-term rental prior?
They were up and on the Airbnb system, and at the time that they applied, and I contacted them and told them that they needed to remove themselves from or freeze themselves from the system. As far as indications of police activity, of course, since we weren't reviewing this for a short-term rental permit at the time that happened, we have no record of it, at least from our end.
Okay. Any So the proper notices went out within the 185 feet?
Yes.
And there's been no legal protest?
There's been no legal protest and no phone calls.
Okay.
I haven't gotten any indications from any of the neighbors.
Okay, thank you. Any additional questions for staff?
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Nesbitt.
should we have the applicant come back forward and explain?
I think we should. All right. Would you like to please come back forward and address any of the things you heard? Yeah, he could stand. I need to swear you in.
Thank you.
Yes, please. Do you promise to tell the truth to the best of your ability? If so, thank you. Say, I will. All right, go ahead and come up. State your name and your address.
Okay, my name is Nathaniel Bobbitt. I live at 711 North Arapahoe Street, Independence, 64056.
Okay. You want to address what your neighbor
So
shared?
I wasn't aware of any police chases, and I would like to, I'm interested in what was going on with that. The incident with some people, we had an issue where there were some people blocking our camera, and they didn't know we had a camera we have a camera facing the house. They didn't know that there was a camera there. And we saw several people, we were assuming maybe 30 people showed up that night. We were very concerned about it. I don't know we had they had a party or something. And we had, we talked to Airbnb about it. We tried to, what did we do with Airbnb with them?
We made sure these people were reported, but we are the homeowners, and we were never called or addressed about a police issue.
No, I did.
And we did watch the cameras that night, the entirety of the film, and there was no police interaction during that night. So that's what I have to say about it.
Well, I'm not
and-
worried about the
hold on.
police.
Yes, and then also, we did have this on Airbnb, but as soon as we were addressed about requiring a permit, we shut it down immediately, and we got the steps done to address the permit issue. We were not aware that we had to do all this. Like we said, this was our first time, so I just wanted to address that real quick.
I was asking the steps we took for the unruly guests that we had. What did we do with that? We had it. We were not happy with it. We were trying to figure out what to do.
But
we were contacting
we had
Airbnb.
security cameras. We have
No,
all of the footage from that night. We reported them to Airbnb. We charged them for
That's what I was talking about.
destruction of the property, which was not any major damages.
At the time, we weren't aware of it until we went in and we'd seen there was silly string and there was a few different things inside that were a little bit
But we
more
have
cleanup than necessary.
Yes. But we
So
have
then-
reviewed the footage from that night, and there was no police interaction.
No,
so.
we didn't see any police. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention was I talked to one neighbor I talked to more than the rest of the neighbors. And I asked him, I said, were these people bothering you? I said, were they loud? I said, it looked like there was a party here and I was really concerned about it. And he said that he wasn't aware that there was, I was surprised, so I'm wondering if he wasn't home or something, but he didn't seem to have a whole lot to say about it. Like he didn't seem like he even noticed there was anybody different than normal there.
Anytime we have guests, we always check in with our neighbors to make sure that they were, until we had to come in and get our permits, of course.
But I am wondering what this police stuff, police chase or police involved period.
It could have
like-
been a different house as well. It might not have even been, because again, like I said, we've reviewed the footage from that night, and there was no police on the site, so.
What I would tell you is if you are concerned about people having parties, I know that Airbnb has some things that you can do differently.
Yeah.
So you may look into that.
Yes.
All right. Any additional questions for the applicants?
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
what about the noise monitoring? Have you guys installed that yet?
Yes.
get the paper?
We actually have,
I don't need paper.
okay,
I
we
just need
have an
a
invoice
answer.
and we have it installed, so yes.
Okay, so that will probably help too.
Yes,
if it's something like
absolutely.
that. Okay.
Yes, we went with the minute device, so, or the minute, however you say it.
That's fine, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you guys operating this before you found out you had to get a license?
I think it was just a few months.
I was
so-
like, maybe 6 months. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe 6 months.
How
We
long-
didn't get it until last year, so.
Okay, so you got the house last year, when to go on?
And then we had to renovate, so.
Right, okay, so you've been operating for about 6 months then? Okay,
And then as soon as we received a letter and talked to Brian, we made sure to get it shut down and the permits taken care of, so.
okay, thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
All right, any additional questions? All right, thank you, applicants.
Thank you.
All right, commissioners, any additional discussion? All right,
Chair,
yes,
I make a motion that we approve case 25-400-12, short-term rental at 201 North Hardy Avenue.
all right, I have a first and a second. All right. I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes?
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashbaugh,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chairman Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0 for case number 25-412, a short-term rental on Hardy Avenue. All right, that concludes our short-term rental hearings. You're free to leave if you'd like to while we continue business. You're more than welcome to stay, though. All right, staff, Rick, excited to hear about some UDO amendments that you'd like to bring to us now.
Of course, these are always the most exciting things, I'm sure. As you mentioned, yes, this is case number 25-175-05, UDO amendment number 76, community gardens. So currently in our code, we do allow community gardens. It's actually allowed, I believe, in every use district. Right now, we don't allow in those community gardens any type of building where you would have like an occupancy. It's primarily you can have a shed that can have gardening equipment and that type of thing. However, what this code amendment would do would be to allow anybody who has a community garden to have a structure that could be built. It would still have to follow our code, our UDO, for things like setbacks and building permits, et cetera, but it would be allowed to have education and training opportunities for cultivating and growing crops in community gardens. So that is essentially the goal of this particular code amendment. And really, that's about all I have for that, and take any questions you have.
Rick, I would just, I know you said this was brought before you to the health, from the health department, and that the real reason behind it was the food shortage or potential. So would the structures that would need to be on these properties, would they come back for any kind of code, building, et cetera, prior?
So, right now, so any community garden doesn't really require a permit. It's allowed as a use on a site. There are some restrictions on setbacks and things of that nature. So yes, this was kind of brought to us. We've had some inquiries from the West End Connection wanting to potentially do another community garden. And just so you guys know, we went back, kind of looked. We had 2 community gardens in the city. We only have currently 1 operating. I don't know if we have any new ones that are coming up, but like I said, I know we had inquiries about a future one with a structure on it that could potentially be used for some kind of educational purposes, and hence that's the purpose of this request.
All right, thank you. Any questions for staff?
Chair, I have 2.
All right, Commissioner.
The first question would be, it looked like there was a 15% of the property size. Do we know what the property sizes are and what 50% of that would be? So how big of a structure are we talking?
So it wouldn't necessarily be any different than what the code currently says for structures on the site. So that doesn't really change. So again, you would still have to have, you would still need to meet the contextual code for any kind of structure on a property. And again, if it's 15%, I'd have to go back and look. I don't recall off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, it says not to exceed 15%. So I just, I don't know how big a community garden space is. So if it's an acre, 15% of an acre's a decent amount of space. If it's
Yeah.
a tenth of an acre, 15% of that's not really big enough to put a structure on.
A large, yeah.
And then my second question was, who owns the structure? Is there tax associated with it, property tax?
So it would be associated with the property owner, whoever's operating that particular community garden.
Gotcha, so they would incur property taxes and that
Yes.
sort of thing, depending on the structure?
Yep.
Okay.
I do have a kind of like a comment to that. With community gardens being in place for a while, some with success and other ones with no success at all. It was some data collection about why it wasn't that popular afterwards. And that was the reason, because it was no place for people to gather and to learn the trade. And it was no place to park and things like that. And that was put into the data, and that was a suggestion, was if we have a place to educate younger generations, and from older generations how to run a community garden, maybe more people will gather into these places and be more popular and more usable for the community. So I hope this works.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate your comments on that. Any additional questions or comments? All right, Commissioner Ashfaw.
So, I'm sorry I'm a little ignorant about this. So can any property any zoned property have a community garden zone?
Yeah, actually, I think it goes all the way through residential, all the way to industrial.
So if a community garden's on an industrial site, does it have to follow the zoning requirements for a building on an industrial site?
It would have to follow under that zoning code ordinance what it would be required for. Is that correct?
Are any temporary buildings allowed on any kind of zoned property? Like if they wanted to set up a certain shed or something like that?
Not temporary buildings.
Well, maybe modular buildings.
Like greenhouse.
Like trailers, like one of these sheds that are built and delivered, or
So you
greenhouse.
can have accessory structures, and it would just follow the accessory structure code.
Okay. Is a greenhouse considered an accessory structure?
It's
It's a gray,
Gotta
it's a
think this out.
gray area.
We've always gotten permits for them, and Tree doesn't like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe we've got building permits for all of those as well.
Well, I just wondered, I'm not trying to bust your chops, I'm just trying to
No, it's a good
figure out
question.
what we're allowing.
Yeah, and I know we've had hoop houses and things like that, which there has been some debate, are those structures, are those not structures? And it really depends on the foundations, and it really depends on, are they running power to it? Does it have any kind of plumbing to it? So, it really depends on the nature of what that structure looks like and what it is.
So if there's any question that you guys need resolved, like they really want to do it and there's a gray area, you come back before us to get it approved, or you just
Well,
tell them what you want and they have to do that, or they can't do it, or?
it wouldn't necessarily come back to planning commission, but
Okay.
it would have to go through, we would ask questions to the applicant or whoever's wanting to do a structure, what's the nature of the structure, and so that is where we would find that out. And there has been situations where we've had structures that shouldn't have any kind of utilities to it for that purpose, and then we find out that there are utilities being run to it, and then we have to go back and request a building permit and things like that. So,
And there's no commercial sales allowed, even though it might be on a commercial property.
correct. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, any additional questions or comments? All right, seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Madam Chair.
I will close the public hearing. All right, entertain a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move we approve case number 25175-05, the UDO amendment number 76, dealing with community gardens.
Second.
All right, I have a first and a second. Any final comments? All right, I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashbaugh,
Yes.
and Chairman Wiley.
Yes, and case number 2517505 for UDO amendment passes with a vote of 7-0 in favor. All right, we'll move on to case number 2512506, UDO amendment number 77, Arts District electronic message sign. That's a big one.
Yes. So again, if you recall back in basically 2010 was when the UDO came out for the Arts District, and we did in 2021, we did some updates to our electronic messaging board specifications. Since that time, there has been a desire, or at least a change in thought. So currently in the Arts District, electronic messaging signs are prohibited. And so since that time, there has been a feeling that in order to potentially modernize or better utilize some of these messaging options that are available, that they would allow, now that we have some of those updated code amendments in 2021, electronic messaging boards within the Arts District. And so that is what this is representing, is basically allowing those electronic message boards to happen within the Arts District. Part of this code section also has the reference to where any actual electronic messaging board would still have to come before Planning Commission for approval. So those would be something you would see if it is indeed proposed. This code amendment does, again, reference and follows the updates that we did to the electronic messaging boards back in 2021. So with that, I have nothing else, and take any questions you may have.
All right, any questions for staff? All right, I have one, Commissioner Nesbitt, Commissioner Ferguson. Were you on Planning Commission 10 years ago, or
Yes.
2010 when this came through the first time?
Yes.
No? Yes?
Yes and no.
I'm just wondering if there was any from now to then, and just changes at Englewood.
Actually,
Any
I
concerns?
believe it started out that they didn't want any electronic signs, and they were really adamant about it. And then they didn't really ask the city to make any changes until recently, so that they could have some electronic signs. But way back when, it wasn't us that decided whether or not they could have them. They didn't want them.
So that leads me to a question for staff of what's changed.
So I think, obviously having the updated amendment in 2021, which had some restrictions on how that electronic messaging board looks like. Back then, prior to that, and it's been a while, but I know, electronic messaging boards were kind of different than they are today. They were more LED, kind of bright. Sometimes and we had some restrictions on how they were supposed to flash and things like that, but not as in depth as we currently do. We're following standards that a lot of other cities have followed, plus some of the sign industry standards for electronic messaging boards, to make sure that they're not obtrusive or ugly, or making sure that they don't create traffic issues with drivers and flashing and really bright to where they become problematic. We now have codes where if they are flashing, or if they do have luminance that is too bright that can blind somebody, that we now have regulations to control that.
So maybe in the past it was about disturbing the residents and/or traffic, and they've just made them so much better that they're not the same kind of concern within our code enforcement.
That would be my understanding, yes.
Okay. Any additional questions for staff?
I guess I have one.
Okay, please, Commissioner.
So currently, they're not supposed to have electronic signs, is that correct? Like in the windows or on the building, or?
So this would be electronic messaging board. So this is like, it's not necessarily like an illuminated sign. It's still different. These would be the type of signs that maybe you've seen for the farmer's market where it's got like a digital display and not like a neon sign or anything like that, but something that has an electronic. Usually you would see these in the old days. It would be the type of sign where somebody'd have to go out and change the letters in it.
Mm.
And while some people may still use those, you know, the more modern is to use the electronic sign. But that is still different than either building signs or illuminated signs or any of the type of signs that are still actually allowed in the Arts District for like neon and things like that.
So the key word is message.
Correct.
There, okay.
Yeah.
If I might add too, is I'm proof to that because it's an art district, and if we want to keep up with other cities, what are they doing with their art districts to increase traffic, you know, and more visitors to our residents, you know, our residential areas, and to visit the wonderful places that we have in Independence. We need to make it as attractive as possible. So good move.
I think,
All right.
like you mentioned, modernization is probably part of that as well.
Okay, great. Any additional questions or comments? All right, seeing none, I will close this public hearing and entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve case 25-17506, UDO amendment number 77, Arts District electronic message signs.
All right, I have a first
I second.
and a tie for second. All right, I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes.
Commissioner Neal,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashball,
Yes.
and Chair Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0 for case number 25175. Excuse me, 06 UDO amendment number 77. All right, thank you very much. I will adjourn our meeting unless anyone has any additional comments.
I do have one message for Roundtable.
All right, please.
So we will be sending out an email. I don't know the exact date, but it'll be shortly for the required boards and commission training. If you attend this training in person, if you could please reach out to Miranda and let her know that you've attended it in person. That way we can check off and make sure that you've been accounted for.
Is that going to be made available via the recording in the future?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
I believe it'll be like a recorded video after the fact, and you can attend it virtually or online.
Okay.
But there will be an actual in-person, from what I understand. So if you do attend that one, just let us know.
Okay.
Do you have a date?
I do not have a date. I didn't have anything specific, but she said it should be coming out soon. So hopefully in the next week or two is what I'm assuming.
All right. The only other thing I will add is see you in 5 weeks, as we will not meet at the beginning of or the end of September.
That is correct. We do not have any cases for the next meeting.
And for the record, happy birthday, Brian. We are adjourned.